I am ill, so this is not going to be the best video ever, but scheduled in for next month I was going to make a video reading Fourth Wing, and I think I'm going to put it forward to now. Basically, I'm ill and I don't see myself getting better this weekend. Still would really like to hopefully, fingers crossed, go pumpkin picking tomorrow. Still would like to get out a few times a weekend, but if I don't, then I don't. So I'm going to start this video now. We're going to be reading Fourth Wing. This is going to be a few day, probably reading vlog. Oh, that is weird. Okay, no it isn't. I missaw something, don't worry. So this is a fantasy romance book that has got a lot of hype, and I feel like I could really like it. I hope, fingers crossed, I'm going to really like it. And honestly, every time I'm ill, I just want to read fantasy romance. It's just a very easy to follow, very easy world building, very easy time, and like normally you like both or at least one character and you're really rooting for them. So that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm reading this. I'm trying to read books I actually own, so I can't just download those on my Kindle. But I think I'm going to pick this up. I am probably not going to annotate it or do anything fancy like that. I just want to read it and see what this is about. Like, I'm so intrigued. In the front of the book here it says, "Welcome to the brutal and elite world of Basgafe War College." The audiobook is on script. I will be definitely helping myself to that. 20-year-old Violet Sorringale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Nevers dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away. Because the dragons don't bond fragile humans, they incinerate them. With few dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just because of being her mother's daughter. Like Zayden Rawson? I don't know. The most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. Okay, so that's our love interest. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly and the kingdom's protective wards are failing and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Basgafe has an agenda, so sleep with one eye open because because once you enter there are only two ways out: graduate or die. I'm so intrigued by this. Look, I'm not going to come here and tell you loads about it. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's been everywhere. This blew up on TikTok. It's since been on Instagram. It's since been on YouTube. This is literally everywhere. I want to give it a go. I actually think that the sequel to this comes out in a few days. So like if I really enjoy it, I might even just go pick that up. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be reading. I'm running myself a bath, so that's why I'm going to start this. I'm going to go settle in, have a bath, read some Fourth Wing, and yeah, this is really all I want to do. Yeah, not feeling great, so I think this is a really good option, a really good thing to do. It's like the 27th of October. This was meant to be on my November TBR, but do you know what? When you feel crap, you just got to go for it. And there's nothing on my current TBR, or nothing I'm even part way through it. It's just like a proper fantasy romance that I think I'm gonna have a good cozy time with. Eat it up in 2 or 3 days and then just be like, oh yeah, that was great. So that's what I'm hoping for this. I'm trying not to hype it up too much because I have heard the only thing that's putting me off of this is a lot of people describe this as a fantasy romance book to get romance readers into fantasy. So I think it might focus on the romance a bit more than the fantasy and world building and plot element, which isn't me. So I'm hoping there's still enough in there that I'll really enjoy. I very recently, like I think it might be the last book I finished, read Powerless. A few books before that I read, I can't remember the trilogy name, but I read a trilogy. I'll shove them on the screen somewhere, and those were kind of like my borderline of like, yeah, there's just enough fantasy here that like I'm happy to go along, but the romance is probably a little heavy for me. So let's see what we think of this. Is it going to be a 5 stars? I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's a 5-star prediction for sure, but it's a 5-star prediction with a lot of caveats and with me like trying not to be too hopeful about it. Okay, hello. So last night I read up to chapter 11. I did read the first 3-ish chapters physically and audibly, and then after that I just listened on audio for a while. And it looks like I've made it about a quarter of the way in. I'm really pleasantly surprised. I am really enjoying this. Like, I don't think it's anything amazing or special so far. Like, so far at a quarter of the way in, how it's been going, it's probably a solid 4 stars, you know. Like, I'm enjoying it. It's moving quickly, the pace is quickly. I do feel like we're missing out on little bits and pieces, like little bits and pieces that would be in a book if the whole book was one event rather than it seems like the whole book's going to be multiple. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I think at the moment there's not really much I could compare it to. Like, the whole thing is you know, like this ride in school. I think the most comparable thing at the moment, quarter of the way in, is if you've read the Throne of Glass series. At some point in the Throne of Glass series, a character perspective called Manon gets brought into it, and that is similar-ish in a way that they're learning to ride wyverns. So I feel like how that works and how they were selecting their wyverns and how this works, it's like similar-ish in a way. That's the most comparable thing I've got right now. And yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a fun time because of how much I liked that section of Throne of Glass. I am hoping for the best in this. Like, you know, I feel like it could be really good. There's not really much else I can say without giving spoilers, so I'm now going to go into a spoiler section. This is your spoiler warning. I will put up on the screen a timestamp to skip to if you don't want to see spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers for this, skip to that point. I like our main character. She seems really good. I think the representation is really good. I don't think we know exactly what sort of representation it is, but it is somewhere within the chronic illness realm. The reason I think that's a spoiler is because, like, it didn't mention it in the synopsis, so I am going to go with the fact that, you know, it's a spoiler, like, there is some sort of like chronic illness, chronic pain maybe realm representation. I don't know if we're going to find out more, but it definitely seems to be that sort of thing. And I think the representation's been really good so far. It's been, you know, pretty decent. And I also like our main character's personality. I think it's really good. I think it if anything, it is a little bit too sympathetic and understanding of people, which brings me on to the next thing. I hate Dayan. Dayan needs to fuck right off, to be quite honest. From the moment he saw her, he's trying to get rid of her. And yeah, it's because he cares for her. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You are literally not putting faith in someone, not allowing someone to do what they are striving to do. And yeah, I know it wasn't her choice. I know her mum sent her there, but do you know what? She's been doing really good. She 100% has the ability to do this, and she'd probably be feeling more confident in herself if the people who are surrounding her actually had confidence in her and were willing to help her rather than hinder her. So yeah, really hate Dane, really don't like him. Honestly, I hope she is in the boot at some point, but I don't know. And then where am I in the book? Chapter 11, we have just seen the first scene with Violet and Xaden, where it kind of seemed like they hadn't bumped into each other and had to talk. That actually, I mean, they bumped into each other, but it felt like they went out of their way to like have the conversation they had, which kind of tells me that we're starting to meander into at least friendship territory if this happens a couple more times. And there's definitely understandings between them where they both understand what the other one is doing, and like, yeah, there's, I don't know if you call it an agreement, but essentially they're both keeping secrets for each other. I don't know, like, I like it so far. It's very slow, it's very subtle, and I think it's doing a good job at it. Like, right now, if I didn't know that this was like an enemies to lovers trope, I don't think that you'd know for definite that that's how this book was going to go. I really think, you know, it could just go to friendship first, it could go to really good friends, it could go to a lot of things. So I do think the way that they are slowly interacting and building together is working really well. I also like our best friend Rhiannon, she seems cool. I don't think we've seen that much of her so far, but everything we have seen seems really cool, and it seems like her and Violet are like genuinely there for each other. We've heard a lot of the ways they're there for each other, but haven't seen them in terms of the history to training partnership where they're helping each other. We've heard about that, we've heard about like mentions of it a couple of times of it taking place. I'd like to hopefully see it at some point, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, that's my updates so far. That is the end of the spoiler section. So yeah, I think my plan for today is just to read a bit more of it. I'm going to take my headphones with me. We are going out. We are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to make it to both a vintage shop and a pumpkin patch today. That is the hope. Jay has told me he's going to get bored at both of them way before I do, so I'm going to take my headphones in case I can listen to any there. I'll take the physical book as well in case we end up sitting down anywhere. And yeah, I am liking it and I'm excited to continue reading Fourth Wing. So that is essentially where we're at. I'll take you along, I'll bring you along. Hopefully it'll be a fun day. I'll probably chuck a few more books in my bag that I've got recently that I haven't taken pictures of. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun old time, so hopefully you enjoy coming along. Let's go out for the day and I'll check in later when I'm reading again. put on record that Jay is vetoing the business in the front, party in the back, book rack pumpkin.
Book rack pumpkin.
He won't let me get it. Look at that book rack.
No, actually, if we're going to get a third one,
if
we're going to get a third one, I think maybe we should get the book rack one over this one.
You do?
Maybe.
Because he's just told me for ages off camera that he doesn't want it. He said it was gross.
We've only been sitting down a second.
He said it was gross.
It's a bit gross. It actually looks like a book rack. Normal pumpkin at the front, and it's actually got like a hole, like.
It's got a hole. Oh, okay. No, we don't want it if it's got a hole in.
Like no, not an actual hole, but like. They're like, it's like puckered, like it looks like a...
Are these insect things?
Anus, I mean maybe.
Yeah, okay, I don't think we are going to get the book rack pumpkin because it looks like an insect has already enjoyed its book rack. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we're probably just getting the two. We've already got two in the car, so...
We have.
Let's wander back.
Sounds nice.
Are these the pumpkins?
I think we can, yeah.
Hello. Haul time. So, I ended up taking 4 books out with me. I ended up getting pictures of 3 of them that I'll show somewhere here, but I didn't get pictures of 4th thing, which is like obviously the book I'm actually reading, so that's a bit annoying. First of all, went to the vintage shop, and oh my gosh, are you interested too? Oh, Jafar wants to have a look. You want to look, don't you? Oh, be careful, be careful. Yeah, I went to the vintage shop. We only got one thing, but it was really cute. Every spring I propagate a lot of our plants. Last spring we had more plants that were able to be propagated than tubs that I had. So I got this really stunning, really pretty, like hand blown glass vase. And it was £7, which I don't think is bad at all for like a handmade, hand blown thing. And I really liked the pattern in this, so got that from the vintage shop. Then pumpkins, we got 4 pumpkins in the end. The first 2 I'll show you now, and these 2 tiny little ones which will probably just go in the window. We always do trick or treat, so we then got 2 big pumpkins, which I think I'm going to show you in the bag. We've got 2 big pumpkins, there we go, you can see them there, which we're going to wash and carve tomorrow so we can shove them outside on Halloween with lights in them, so people know we're doing trick or treat. It's the 28th today, so 29th tomorrow, so yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah, that is everything we've done today. Have I read? I ended up reading about 10 minutes in the car. There was a shop with a really long queue because we went food shopping as well, so I went and waited in the car because I didn't want to wait in the queue, and I literally have read for about 10 minutes, so I haven't even made it halfway through chapter 11 yet, but I'm really excited to like figure out getting cozy for the evening and reading. So yeah, I've had fun. It's been a good day, but I am tired and I do want to read, so I'll set myself up to do some reading, I guess. Okay, hello, update. I'm up to chapter 16. It's absolutely great. I'm actually really enjoying it. I feel like that's kind of 3 chapters is where I've really started enjoying it, and like it actually feels like a book that I'm just having so much fun with. I am going to go straight into spoilers. I think, like, I don't think there's anything else except for the fact that I'm really enjoying it and it's a really fun time that I can say that wouldn't spoil anything. So yeah, from now until the timestamp you see on the screen right here, I'm going to go into spoilers. I'll also have the timestamp links down below. Okay, so Violet's just bonded to 2 dragons. Don't understand what's happening. I'm guessing that's about to be explained. But the entire, like, final gauntlet and, like, dragon picking and the walk where we got to meet the 4 green dragons as well and all of that, it's just been so much fun. And I really enjoyed how the dragon ended up picking her, or I guess both dragons. Again, I don't completely understand what's going on with that point yet, but yeah, it was really, really fun, and I thought it was a really cool way as well. And I wonder who else knows this, what's going on. Yeah, but I already like the vibes that we're getting from, oh god, I'm listening to the audiobook and I still can't remember exactly how to pronounce it. Tayan? I think maybe you say it like that. Tayan, the big black dragon. I am very curious about him. Like, he seems really cool. Like, he's just like a sarcastic old man from what we're kind of hearing from him. And then obviously, like, we haven't heard really much at all from the gold dragon. Like, she's spoken twice, but like, she's spoken to say that she also picks her, so I have no clue what's going on, but it's absolutely great. You can already see the friendships like changing and moving. I'm so glad that we're getting less Dayan. I was really not liking him at all. Like, I'm really glad that she's kind of put a bit of separation between them. Hopefully that continues. Xaden tried to help out again, which I thought was interesting, and like an interesting way to see that friendship start to like develop. And then I'd say we've kind of just got our main friendship group, friendship trio. I don't know, like, it seems like Violet and Rhiannon are really like the close friends. Then there's also another character called Riddoch, who also seems to be a part of that friendship group. We don't really know much about them, but yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm having a fun time, I'm having a good time, and I'm just gonna keep reading. So yeah, spoiler section over. I'm gonna keep reading and I can't wait to see what happens. Like, chapter 16, I reckon I'm about a third of the way through if we look at the book like that. So yeah, having a great time. I probably won't check in again till the morning, but I'm probably going to spend another couple of hours reading. I'm hoping to hopefully make it to the halfway point tonight, so I guess we'll just wait and see. But yeah, that's my thoughts so far. Okay, I'm going to carve my pumpkin. This one's mine with all the warty bits on. And Jay will, before Jay carves his pumpkin, you'll show the before and after of yours?
I will.
Yeah, this is my before. I really like these warty bits. I think I want that to be the size of its face. I think I'm going to go for a face in this area here. So let's get started. Okay, here is my final pumpkin. We'll put lights in and put them outside on Halloween, and this is Jay's before. Okay, we are back. Let's talk about fourthing. Yeah, so I finished it. I actually finished it a couple of days ago. Just, I don't know, I thought I was getting better and then I got worse, but essentially I'm good now. Let's talk about it. The last time I checked in, I was halfway through, and I honestly just flew through the last half. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 4 stars total. Like, that's, I think, a decent rating for it. I think it's kind of where I stand with it. I definitely will be picking up the second book in the series. If you'd like me to do a similar sort of reading vlog just for that book for the second one, as I have for this one, let me know down below. Essentially, in this, a lot happened. A lot happened. I don't think I'm going to go into spoilers. Essentially, I think this was a solid book. I feel like it was good, and it was a good start to a series. Nothing in the book surprised me. Like, none of the twists or turns were surprising, but the reasons for them were. There was one big thing at the end that felt like it was meant to be a big reveal, but by 3 chapters before that, it was kind of a bit obvious that that at least could be where it was going. I don't know if it was solidly in my mind that that was where it could go, but it was definitely a possibility. But I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was good. I like our main characters. I think them as like individual characters, but also their relationship together does still need like growth and work in the second book. Like they're not solidly set up yet. Like I don't feel like I 100% know them, but I'm intrigued and I would definitely like to know more. I will definitely continue on in the series. I really enjoyed the dragons and all the dragon stuff. I thought that was really, really fun, and I found the way this ended really makes me like not know what we're going to get out of the second book. There was a lot of things that happen in this that makes you think some people know things, some people don't know things, like what's going to happen, who knows what, who we trust in, who we're not trusting, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, overall a solid book, a solid read, 4 stars. I do think it's overhyped, if I'm being honest. Like, this has got so much hype about it. People are saying it's like, you know, the best fantasy of the year. I don't personally think that. I've read a lot of really amazing fantasy this year. This is good, it's up there. Like, if I was to do like tiered, this would be in the second tier. Like, it was good, and I definitely see why people enjoy it so much. And although this wasn't a favourite book, I could see, you know, I think this is going to be a 5-book series. I could see further down the line the series as a whole making its way up there, depending on how we progress and what we see. So yeah, that is it for this video. I know it's a bit of a short ending. Honestly, I got ill again, so I finished the book, but I wasn't checking in. I think you saw me in the last clip. I was full on like hooded, tracksuited up, like we're living life, but we're struggling. So we're better now. I feel a lot better, so I'm glad I finished the book. I think it was the perfect book to kind of read and just have some slow days with. And yeah, I would recommend this generally. I think no matter where you are in your like fantasy reading, fantasy journey, you could pick this up and enjoy it and understand it, which, although I do believe that I've read quite a lot of fantasy this year that is better than this and I have enjoyed more, I don't know if I could necessarily recommend it to anyone, no matter where they were in their fantasy reading journey. Like, a lot of it, I feel like you do need to understand the basics and how basic fantasy works to get into, whereas this one I don't think you do. I think it did a very good job of stripping it down and making it easy to understand. So yeah, that is my final thoughts on Fourth Wing. I do really hope that you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like if you liked it, subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.